What were your key strategic decisions you had to make that happen?
That we work on the same principles, value system, and the business objective. I'm working as a advisor for real estate or other companies also. I call it 3E strategy: expansion, expansion, expansion. Expansion in milk processing capacities. India is a country of, I call it as 3S economy. Cooperative is a type of doing business. Under the consumer pressure, sometimes government decides for the free imports or zero duty. Our farmers are smallholder farmers, 2 or 3 cows. Cooperative is a business model for small people.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Transforming India Conclave, third edition podcast. And I have with us a prominent leader and very much an inspiring person, Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi. Sir, welcome, sir. How are you liking everything here? The Transforming India Conclave. I think you've seen all the speakers. How is it to you?
Well, thank you very much. It's an excellent institution campus. Feel very privileged to come here, and especially I'm amazed with the theme of the convention, that is transforming India.
Resilient today and sustainable tomorrow, sir.
Yeah, and especially when you're talking to the young students, and for them understanding the importance of transforming India, and also hearing from the various leaders, think tank people, that what are the areas where this resilient and sustainability can be important in transforming India, and what can be the role of the today's student when they become tomorrow leaders or policy makers, or they are at a position where they can transform India. So it's a very good initiative with SSVM had taken.
Which makes me go to my next question, which is about Amul. So Amul has expanded like significantly under your leadership, sir, which you've said mentioned it before, with the sales turnover over 72,000 crores, sir. What were your key strategic decisions you had to make that happen?
Well, let me tell you, Amul transformation started 78 years back when Dr. Varghese Kurian and Tirumudas Patel founded the Amul. And we, the future, or later on professional, tried to see that we work on the same principles, value system, and the business objective. I worked with Amul for 41 years, joined 1982, but I came to leadership position as a managing director in 2010 when turnover was 8,000 crore. And when I superannuated last year, the turnover was 72,000. Besides seeing the usual maintenance things or working on the various issues, I think major emphasis during my tenure have been, I call it 3E strategy: expansion, expansion, expansion. Expansion in milk procurement, which was earlier restricted only to Gujarat. We went outside Gujarat. Expansion in milk processing capacities, whether making various product or fresh product, not only within Gujarat, outside Gujarat. A third expansion, which is very important to the food, is the expansion in distribution highways, opening more depots, more warehouses, more distributor, more retailer. So expansion in procurement, expansion in processing, and expansion in distribution resulted in multiplier effect on the turnover.
That is very amazing, sir, what your initiative is. And how do you see the role of cooperative models evolving in the future? I mean, when there's a lot of competition, right, from different other private people.
Well, you say cooperative is a type of doing business. It's a business enterprise structure. Only difference with the corporate and cooperative is owned by small, either the service provider, or cooperative taxi people or truck people, or a cooperative by small farmers where they can aggregate their produce. In India, relevance of corporate is more because India is a country of, I call it as 3S economy: small producer or small service provider, small retailer, and small consumer. And let me tell you, it is only the cooperative way of doing business or model which can take care of small people, because here the benefit or profit is distributed among all these people who are providing their service or the product.
So it's mainly on to helping the people rather than a competition, right, sir?
No, competition is welcome. I mean, cooperative, it doesn't mean cooperative means you will not have competition. And food competition is always welcome because it brings efficiency.
Yeah.
It it brings lot of innovation in the systems. It gives best to the consumer and the other stakeholders. So competition is always like, but cooperative is a business model for small people,
Absolutely
small
right, sir.
entrepreneur.
Absolutely right, sir. How important is sustainability in your strategy when you're currently, sir, you're in Reliance Retail, right? I think you're.
No, no, I'm worked now. Right now, I'm working as a advisor for Reliance Trade or other companies also.
Are you trying to implement any sort of sustainability measures for the company to move on?
See, sustainability, like I mentioned, because I've been involved in a lot of sustainability initiative in the Amul, because in a farmers, in animal husbandry, sustainability is very much required. And fortunately, India's dairy value chain or animal husbandry supply chain is very, very sustainable and efficient. The reason is simple. Our farmers are smallholder farmers, 2 or 3 cows. So we feed to cows or buffalo whatever is left over after human consumption. That is the farm roughage, wheat straw, paddy straw, etc.
Yes, sir.
So it is not competing with the human being. Otherwise, you have to burn it. Similarly, whatever dung is produced, it is being used in India as a biofertilizer or producing biogas, etc. And the whatever milk output is there, one side it is providing livelihood to 80 million farmers, the other side it is providing affordable, tasty nutrition to 1.42 billion Indian. So Indian dairy farming whole value chain is very, very sustainable.
Thank you, sir. Were there any challenges that you had to face when during your time at Amul? Were there any particular big challenges you had, and how did you go through it?
Well, any commercial operation, any I can say is the social business which you are handling, there will be challenges. First challenge is you have to see that how you can satisfy your milk producer by providing them a stable and remunerative prices of their produce. Because other side consumer want price to be cheap, policymaker want you shouldn't increase the price of milk. So those challenges. The other challenge is under the consumer pressure, sometimes government decides for the free imports or zero duty. So you have to see that how you can take care of those measures which can impact the income of the farmers.
Yes, sir. True, sir.
So any business you take, there will be challenges.
True, sir. So I've had this. I'm very what do you say? Very amused that during the global pandemic and COVID-19, COVID-20, right? Amul, like they have increased over like 17.6% in increase of sourcing and distribution. How did you manage to do that?
Well, you see, one thing happens when lockdown comes,
Yes.
anything can stop. Two things won't stop. One is cows, our cows and buffalo will not stop giving milk. You have to milk them. And if you milk them, you have to take care of process it. So you have to collect it. The other side, you can be under lockdown, but you need food. You need milk. So when these two things are 24 by 7, which cannot stop, which is not under lockdown, you have to see how this supply chain works. So during lockdown, not of a single day or single minute, the milk or the food supply chain stopped. Fortunately, all the policymakers or government allowed milk and other products to be freely movement and all the infrastructure for that.
But it took some
So
time.
it worked. And in Amul, we ensured that milk and milk products are available. And we made product available, we made visibility, and we provided.
That's amazing, sir. How do you see the dairy industry evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, sir?
Indian dairy industry, which is the world leader today and the fastest growing, we have got a very bright future. One is I'm thinking from perspective of livelihood because it is going to be or it is one of the very important source of income for the rural India. 80 million people, farmers, families are dependent. Other side, because of a more income, more prosperity, Indian consumer, where 50 more than 50% are vegetarian, are spending more and more on dairy and milk products.
So
So
even
today's Indian dairy market, which is around today 14 lakh crore, in another 10 years, it will be 30 lakh crore. So India is not only world's largest dairy market, but also the fastest growing market in the world. So that is the potential in India as well.
do you think that will happen even when all these dairy free, vegan type of stuff comes in?
You see what happens in food, whatever trend comes, whatever the one trend which is not going to change is consumer is going to eat what is tasty, what is nutritious, and especially for India, what is affordable. So dairy is tasty, nutrition, and affordable. So a lot of fat come and go. That is not going to make much impact.
What's the most unconventional piece of advice you've ever got in your whole life, which has changed your life?
I think one very professional advice which I got is don't, if anything adverse happening which you don't like it, don't react. Wait for some time. Let the things cool down. Then think what action to be taken. Because sometimes at the spur of the moment, you may take some wrong decision which can impact you.
Yes.
So it is better when you feel you don't like something, somebody's action, wait to decide this strategy.
Thank you, sir. That's all my questions, sir. Thank you for taking your time, sir. It's been amazing having you here and explaining a lot of stuff for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.